Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We have a special guest today. We have Sandra with us. She has visited us before and we're so glad she's come back. She recently just got back from Universal Orlando doing agent training out there. So she has a lot to share with us, some fun tips and experiences that she got to do. Hey vacation dreamers, welcome to Book Solid, the podcast where two travel advisors share insider tips, talk about our favorite destinations, bucket list experiences, and everything you need to know to make your next vacation unforgettable. We'll break down what's included, what to watch out for, and keep it real with plenty of laughs along the way, while we help you plan with confidence. Let's jump in. Hey Sandra, welcome back.
Hello, thanks for having me back. So
All
excited to share.
Can't wait to hear about what you experienced out there.
Yes. Where do you want to start? I think my big experience, for a new experience, is actually the Mardi Gras Ride and Dine.
I want to hear all about it. It sounds so fun.
It was definitely worth that extra experience ticket. Yeah. So the actual package comes with a 3-course meal. And then, of course, your experience getting on the float during the Mardi Gras parade. They load your float with beads, and you get to toss them out to the audience and to everybody, along the parade route and dance the night away on the float. It was a very fun experience. Highly recommend it. Yeah, so you get to pick from several different restaurants where you want to eat as far as your 3-course meal. So they have NBC Grill. We did cowfish, sushi, and burger. They also have the Lombard's seafood and then Finnegan's to choose from. And you get your appetizer, your entree, your dessert, and of course your non-alcoholic beverage. And that's for each person. Okay. So if you have a party of 4 that are, all doing Ride and Dine, each person gets their appetizer. So you definitely have a feast in front of you. Yeah, a lot of food.
A lot of food. Oh my goodness. So how long is the experience?
So you arrive to the starting point about 45 minutes to 60 minutes before the actual parade starts. You're going to go through a check-in. They're going to do your float assignment, and then get your costume, and you got to put on the little robe top and get all ready with different, I guess you could say, rules, because they don't really want you taking pictures of the floats before the parade starts, but you can take a few while you're on there once, the parade gets started. So that was really cool. And then the parade is probably about 45 minutes or so, about 30 to 45 minutes. So all in all, I want to say that we were probably occupied for about 2 hours total, aside from actually having, the meal. And we did that a couple of hours before.
Okay.
So we weren't late.
Got it.
But definitely a fun experience. I've never ridden on a Mardi Gras float. I have always wanted to do that. So this is definitely one of those bucket lists for doing an experience inside the park. One of the other agents that was with us, she had actually ridden in the Mardi Gras parade. And so she was like, yeah, just have fun with it. Just throw the beads. And definitely something I would do again, to be honest. So,
do you remember how much it was?
With tax, I believe it was like $110. So not too bad when you consider that you're getting a 3-course meal. Mm-hmm. And it's something that not everybody gets to do. So, and there were some younger children, probably around 10, 12 years old, on the floats as well. So definitely something I would say you can grab your whole family and try to, get on the same float. There's some that are double tiered. So you got to be on the top, different view. So I know that for me, myself, I definitely want to take, my family and my son to experience that as well. So definitely something to look forward to.
And Mardi Gras at Universal runs end of February through April.
Right. I believe April 4th was the last weekend. So yeah, it's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good time. Good weather.
Good.
Not super hot. Florida weather can be kind of sticky in the summer. It wasn't that bad, so that made it even better.
Even better, especially if you have to put like a costume on.
Yeah, I mean, it's lightweight, but it was, every layer counts when you're in the scorching heat.
For real. Well, that does sound like a fun experience. What a great like family memory to like add on to your vacation.
Yeah, it definitely is. But we stayed at Stella Nova, and so of course it's one of the newer hotels that they built with Epic Universe. The sister Terra Luna is right next door. One thing that a lot of people may not know is that the outside, those colored tiles, that they're actually numbered. I found that out. So yeah, so like, they go through the hurricane, or if something happens where they loosen up or they fall out, the workers know exactly which tile that they need to be replacing based on the number of the tiles. So that was kind of a cool tidbit that I found out. Yeah.
They're beautiful though.
They are, and they're black.
Hotels.
Yes. And then, depending on the direction of the sun and how you're standing, it's like color changing. So definitely something to see. Comfortable hotel. And I would definitely recommend, if you're doing like an Epic Universe based trip, that's definitely, one that you want to stay at. Bus is right there, but you can do a walk if you like to walk. It's not that far. Probably about a 10 to 15 minute walk, but the bus ride is literally like 3 to 4 minutes. It's right across the street. So not bad of a wait time. Now, if you're doing the other parks, I highly recommend to do one of the other resorts. So that's one thing, is that the bus ride to City Walk is a good, probably about 20-minute ride. It's a little bit further than I would like to stay if I'm doing a full on, Universal experience with the other parks as well. I think that I would rather stay at the other resorts and then just kind of make my way over via bus for my Epic Universe day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's what I've been recommending to a lot of my clients, is more OG resorts and stuff, because they want to do Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, and then like maybe one day at Epic, which Epic could arguably do more than one day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those other hotels are just the convenience factor if you're going to more than one day at the other parks. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. The other thing is of course Express Pass. Highly recommend them. I love the signature resort. Rose Rock Pacific is actually one of my favorites. Those built-in Express Passes, especially when you utilize for a larger family. They sleep up to 5 guests, and when you do that breakdown of that math, it's just definitely worth doing that, signature resort with the Express Passes versus trying to piece everything together with the Express Passes on another resort.
Have you been finding that that is still the case, even with Epic, that it's more cost effective to stay at the signature resorts?
So I've had clients that want to do the Express Passes, and they kind of decide, I'm going to do more days at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. I want the Express Passes over there. May do one day at Epic. And some have done Express, some have not. But more often than not, they're going to choose one of the signature resorts and then do the Express Passes that way.
Add on the Express.
Yeah, and kind of do the Epic as the add-on to everything. Now, I will say that I've done Epic Universe without Express, and this last trip I did it with Express. Highly recommend it, especially because it's so popular right now. It's worth every penny, to be honest. Battle Ministry, I think the wait was like around 2 hours, and as much as I love Harry Potter, as much as I, want to experience it, I just would have never wanted to wait that long. And with the Express Pass, it was about 30 minutes. And that queue is pretty long. So half of that is just walking through the queue. So that was definitely worth that And then, what is it? Curse of the Werewolf. I think it was about a 45-minute wait. And I want to say that with Express, I was on within less than 10 minutes. Probably about 5 minutes, really, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worth having them.
Did you find now that Epic is included in a park hopper that like evenings were more popular over there? Did you do evenings at Epic? I guess that would be the first question.
I actually had to leave early that day, so I didn't finish out like super late. But I kind of seen more of a crowd that day in the morning than I did in the evening by the time I was leaving.
Got it.
Now I do typically recommend to my clients, you want to do like Super Nintendo World in the evening. One, it's cooler because of the way it's shaped in there. It's kind of like a bowl, in there. But there tend to be less people, so definitely take advantage of that situation. Plus, everything's it's lit up, and I tend to find that it's a little overstimulating during the day with all the colors, with all the people that are trying to crowd in there. Highly popular, but I'd rather wait a little bit towards the evening where it's a little less crowded.
Are you one that gets overstimulated with the noise? Like the soundtrack in Super Nintendo, I feel is extremely loud.
It is. So I don't tend to get too overstimulated with things, but there's something about Super Nintendo that I'm just like, you know what? I cannot be in here very long. It is very loud. There's just so much going on. Like,
yeah.
That's
how there's just
felt. Yeah. I mean, it's great because there's something to see every kind of nook and cranny, especially for the kids with the power bands and all that stuff. But it's kind of like I can only do for like a little bit.
Small doses.
Yes. Now, Isle of Work is a different story. I could be in there for a long time. It's just so very well done. It's not overwhelming, like in your face type of overwhelming. It's very calm in a way.
Mm-hmm. I would for sure agree with you. Like, I never did feel like I probably would have been able to just sit down and just enjoy, listen to the soundtrack, people watch, and be fine. For sure. It was not that way. And I would even say we went to Dark Universe so early that there was nobody in there anyways. I like to say it wasn't awake yet. Because nothing was open, nobody was out, and even the Ministry of Magic, it was somewhat awake, but my favorite place was back behind the buildings where there was like nobody. That there will soon be like a tavern type thing back there, but it's not open yet. So, but it was like quiet. There wasn't anybody there.
Good spot to decompress.
Yeah, such a decompress. I never used to be that way, but it happens.
It happens.
I used to go, and now I'm like, I need to like, and it was hot. The heat. If you're gonna go, like we did September, and so for us, part of it was the heat. Awesome. I'm trying to think.
Did you get on Curse of the Werewolf when you went?
I did not. I was having a medical thing to where I couldn't ride any of the rides that day. I know. I was very sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So I love to get on roller coasters, and I can do Velocicoaster. In fact, I got on Velocicoaster. I have issues with my knees. Well, one of my knees, I should say. And so I'm not afraid or ashamed to say, you know what, I need to use the elevator instead of climbing all these stairs. And so, the group that we were with, I'd be like, I'm not wasting my knee because then, I'm done for the day. So I asked to use the elevator. No shame in it if you absolutely need to, bypass some stairs. And they basically took us to a different entrance to get through security. We got wanded down and all of that. And when we were at the top, the regular line is on one side, but when you go through I guess you could say handicap security, you're on the opposite side of where the glass is. So you're not with the regular line. And I was asked, where do you want to sit? Front row. So everybody else, I sat front row with a stranger. Everybody else was like, nope, we'll sit in the middle. But I'm all roller coasters, love roller coasters. Now I can't do as many heavy duty ones back to back anymore, but I can do them spread out throughout the day. But I actually had expected a little more from Curse of the Werewolf.
Okay.
I don't know why. So I was like, it's still a good ride, don't get me wrong, but it is a little short, and I don't know, I just expected a little bit more from it. So
it kind of,
yeah.
Watching it from the ground, it kind of reminded me of the one in Dino Land. Now I'm like completely blanking.
The Triceratops one? No, that's
the one that always got tried at Disney World and Animal Kingdom.
Is it the actual roller coaster?
Yeah.
The teal one? I think it was like a Triceratops. Triceratops
thing. But your car spun.
I can't remember. I think
rolling on the track. So it kind of reminded me of that before, but it always had so many issues that it was never open. So I was kind of sad because I love that ride.
Yeah. The first time I went to Epic Universe, Curse of the Werewolf was not open, so I didn't get to experience it. So this time I was like, Express Pass, I'm getting on, like, it's on my must-do list. And I was ready to go, expecting, because I hear all these people like, oh my God, it made me sick. And I'm like, okay, come on, bring it on. And I was like, no, I didn't get sick. I didn't get dizzy. I was just like, okay, it's a good ride. I could have done with a little, turn up the speed a little bit or something.
Did you get on Stardust Racers then?
It was closed, but I did get on it my first time going to Epic Universe. I absolutely love it. It's very smooth.
Okay.
So if you are a roller coaster person, definitely have to do it. I cannot remember which color I was on, but I know that track is very smooth. My son, when we took him, he had just turned 16, and he's kind of, he does the roller coasters, but he kind of still hesitates. He loved Stardust Racers.
Wow.
So definitely one of those, like, you're going to love it. And I love the spin at the top where you kind of, they duel at the top where kind of feel like you're going to reach out and touch the other cart.
So if you could give one tip for each park, what would it be?
Man, well, I think for Epic Universe, it's going to tie back to what I was saying about Nintendo World. I would probably leave that towards the last and do that at the end of the night or end of the day. To me, and it might be just because I love Isle of Berk, I tend to do Isle of Berk first and then go Battle of or Harry Potter area, Dark Universe, and then go Nintendo. It's just kind of how I flow with that. But I think you're going to get more out of Nintendo World in the evening. It's not as crowded, not overstimulating, especially if you have little ones that, kind of get distracted or they get overstimulated. It's going to be a little easier to handle all of that. For the original parks, I'd say definitely ride the train both ways. It's different both ways. Absolutely. I always tell my clients when we have our prep calls, you have to do it both ways, and don't look at it as transportation. Look at it as a ride. It's part of the experience. So to me, it's an immersive experience. Let me see here. Highly recommend express passes to everybody, my clients. We normally go over what they want out of their trip, kind of like their must-dos. If they have never been to the park, a lot of it is going to be on their list. But we talk about like the biggest things that they want out of their trip, and then we kind of filter in everything else is just gravy on top. So having the express pass to get those big rides out of the way, to me is a big deal. So when I first went to Epic Universal a long time ago, and I know I'm kind of jumping off subject here, I went with the 3 days for the OG parks. Epic wasn't open yet. We ran into some pass holders. It was a couple, and we were talking with them before the park opened, because we arrived like an hour and a half before the park opened, second person at the gate type of situation. And they're telling us, if you can do it, buy an express pass, even if it's just for 1 day. And that 1 day, you ride all the rides and leave the shows and the shopping for your non-express days. So we did it. We, bit the bullet. I went to go purchase the express, and it was worth every penny, because we got to ride every single ride that day. And probably overdid it a little bit because I rode the big roller coasters twice each, but it was like one of the best days to be able to know that I left being able to ride every single ride in both of those parks. So it was definitely worth that experience. But don't skimp on the shows. The shows are amazing. Love Born Stuntacular. Love the horror makeup show. And of course, definitely love the oh my goodness.
Untrainable.
How to Train Your Dragon. Untrainable Dragon. Definitely tear up with that one every single time.
That show is well done. Very well done. The music. I like the music.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And to your point with the Express Pass, too, one thing I try to remind my clients too is that basic Express Pass, if that's all you could do, and now that they have it to where will include Epic, every day of your trip, if you have a park to park ticket, you can use that basic Express Pass and hit all the rides in all the parks if you want to really make that basic Express Pass stretch. But especially if you have the OG parks, to hit all the rides at least once with that basic Express Pass to really make it worth it.
Definitely. I know a lot of people like to kind of do rides, do shows, do shopping all in 1 day, and that's definitely doable, depending on the length of your stay, how many parks you're trying to hit. But if for any reason you're not staying at a signature resort that has the express built in, highly recommend to take advantage of all those rides, just like we've been saying, in the 1 day, and then come back and filter in everything else on the other days. Another thing that I like to go over with my clients, of course, when I have a consultation call with them, we do talk budget. And I know it's kind of I don't really I feel weird asking for budget, but it's very important to know these types of things, who you're traveling with. It's not really tell me how many kids, their ages, how many adults. I want to know who you're traveling with. I want to know, is grandma and grandpa coming? Do they have mobility issues? Do we need proximity to the park for somebody to come back and rest in the middle of the day? I had a client, that's something that I like to go over with the consultation calls. If we need that proximity, or if we need an accessible room, or we need a family suite to accommodate everybody together instead of 2 rooms, that's something that I like to discuss with my clients, so that way we know which direction, which resort is going to actually suit the family.
Those consultation pre-planning, like pre-booking, I'm assuming,
yes,
are so important, because we can provide you numbers, but if it doesn't fit your family, it's the constant back and forth is more, work on us, which is fine, but almost more frustrating, I feel, on your end, that you're not then getting what
you need.
Could get, or what you need. Sure.
Yeah. And what I like to tell people, or my clients rather, I'm here to take the stress off of you. So those consultation calls are very important, just like you said, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you the package. Not only that is I've had clients where I have to order scooters to be delivered to the resorts, things like that. I have a client that is needing oxygen, to be delivered to the resort. These types of things, if we don't ask, just go email back and forth, it may not be, told to us until the last minute. They may forget it, show up, and not say, hey, I don't know how to get this. Mm-hmm. It's all about those pre-planning questions to go over everything. I like to build that relationship and trust with my clients. So that way everything gets checked off, make sure that they're comfortable.
And there's value working with a travel advisor too, especially one that specializes or knows Universal very well.
Exactly.
In multiple situations, and we've said a couple here that we can support you on.
More than just the vacation package, period. Mm-hmm. More than just, yeah, definitely. I think that there's a lot of people that still don't realize how valuable travel advisors are. And that is one thing that I also kind of go over with my clients when they call me, because I will let some of them know, like, yes, I understand, because they'll say, I found this online, and I'll explain to them, yes, I do see, this package, what you're sending me. If that's exactly what they want, I'll bring that up, but I'll also let them know everything else that I provide to them. So it's not just that transaction of booking it for you, but literally being here for you 24/7. Well, maybe not 24/7 because I do got to sleep, but being here for you all the time to answer your questions. You're not on hold with Universal trying to find out, where your room is going to be located, or where does it have this or that. Did they book on the consumer side as accessible? Was it actually accessible or not? Or just any questions regarding their tickets. I still get questions I still get comments saying, I'm confused with these ticket types. I don't understand, is this the right one or is this the right one? And that's where we come in with our expertise too. I provide guides to my clients. Being a past annual pass holder for Universal, I was a pass holder for 4 years. So I have a bunch of tips and tricks up my sleeve, and I don't just give the guides, but I have like a document of my own personal tips and tricks from me being in the parks that I like to provide my clients. And, if I don't really put all of those tips and tricks out, but I save them for my clients because it's something special as a thank you to give those extra, goodies too.
Absolutely.
But then also going over the app. I know it's not as complicated as Disney, but it's still very useful. So I like to have those prep calls with my clients as well, go over any questions that they have, any questions about the app, how to use it, and just make sure that they have full confidence walking in the parks.
So if you are thinking about a Universal vacation, definitely reach out to Sandra. I will put her email in the description, caption, whatever you want to call it. Reach out to her. She is lovely. I love talking with you, Sandra. And her knowledge of Universal is super high and unmatched. Thank you, Sandra, for spending your evening with me. And
thank you for having me.
Come back sometime. But
yes,
everyone, follow. I'll put Sandra's socials in the comments or wherever, the descriptions as well. Follow her, follow us, subscribe, do wherever you need. And we are planning on being back next week, but I honestly don't want to make any promises. And Brianna couldn't be with us tonight, but she should be back soon. So
yes, we missed her,
guys. Until next time.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode, Vacation Dreamers. We hope you picked up some tips, ideas, and a little extra magic for your next adventure. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts for even more travel tips and updates. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep planning, and we'll see you real soon.